My name is Jon Finn. Welcome to another installment of Ask the Guitar Professor. Username Doug Bracey asks, my question is regarding fast alternate picking. What advice do you have on this technique? Let me say this. I haven't mastered it yet. A couple of things to think about when you're working on your alternate picking. I think the first is the difference between outer picking versus inner picking. Now, outer picking is if you're crossing from one string to the next string. Let's say I'm starting here on one string and I pick downwards. The next one is going to be the string lower, and I'm going to pick up. So in other words, when I'm crossing between those two strings, I'm crossing from the outer edge of the two strings. I call that outer picking. Now, the opposite of that would be inner picking, where you start on the upper string with an upstroke and then cross downwards to the string physically underneath it. The thing that's more difficult about that is that you're kind of trying to aim the pick in the hole between those two strings. Outer picking is a little bit easier because you're trying to take advantage of momentum that you have with the pick. And then inner picking, you're always going in the opposite direction. I guess my point is you want to be working on inner picking and outer picking. Username Happy Durrell asks, how do you translate what you hear in your head into your fingers? What an amazing question. It's something that I call ear-to-hand coordination. A great way to get started with that is to start singing the pitches that you're playing. What that's going to do is it's going to kind of encourage your brain to think about the sound of the phrase that you're playing. Your hands are going to be forced to be not quite so automatic. Obviously, work on your ear training. Start transcribing other people's solos, but as you do that, start asking the question, why did this player play this particular lick? That will kind of inform the kind of things that you could play. Think of some really simple melodies, childhood nursery rhymes, and see how long it takes you to learn how to play that melody by ear, true to what the original melody sounds like. You know, if I'm going to play the Leave It to Beaver theme song, and you learn a little bit about the mechanics of how melodies get created. It just makes you sound maybe more melodic. But a big one, sing while you play. User The Cooper asks, last year, a friend convinced me to start playing guitar again. I usually get in at least 2 hours a day of practice. Could you talk a bit more about proper playing posture so we can avoid injury? One of the things I can tell you is that posture is huge. As I try to set my strap so that it hangs over me at the same position when I'm sitting versus when I'm standing. That way, when I'm standing and performing, there's no difference in the way that the guitar feels when I'm standing versus sitting. Also, if it starts to hurt, pay attention to that. That's your body's way of saying it's time to stop. You're about to hurt yourself.